You are now listening to the Drunken Monks podcast.
So do you think this year, we're in 2022, there's going to be a need for another anti-Zwarte Piet protest on Curacao in ieder geval?
Yes and no.
All right.
No, in the sense that the official celebration, so the official arrival of Sinterklaas is already without Zwarte Piet. So after that, the past 2 years.
Well, really?
Yeah. The past 2 years, the official arrival was without black beats. Yeah.
See, but I got a question once you're done with this. So yeah.
And so in that sense, great, awesome. It's already gone from the national level. But there's a lot of the smaller groups who still do it. In part because they don't want to let go, in part because there's some people that don't want to let it go either. So they want specifically the black beat. So
Right.
in that sense, I'd say the protest is still needed. But on the other hand, if you do it in private, if you do it in your own home, do your thing. What you do in your home, I don't care, I don't mind, it doesn't keep me up at night. But it doesn't have to be in the schools, in the stores, and everywhere we go.
It doesn't have to be like a national kind of a symbol.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's when it gets a problem.
But here, okay, but then this is where I find, like, Lord, I'm gonna break my own rule. We're gonna go a little bit longer, folks. I would like to know what your thoughts are of, because you got like Dutch, you got like, say as honest as I can, Dutch white people
Yeah.
that will obviously go against you like about this, but you have a lot of locals that love Zwarte Piet as well.
I think, jullie Curacao, gewoon puro, they are even worse in holding on
Right, but
to the
right, but I want to know what my man
caricature.
thinks about this, because a lot of the celebrations around that time is like the grupona, like you know, like the kids them that they put, and Lord help me, some of them black, they still put on the black face, and the whole thing, they get in the trucks, but outside of
There's
that
a sense of pride with it.
wait, right, but this is where my cognitive dissonance comes in. If you can take away all the bad symbolism, it's a fucking lit time. It's drums and getting on and making noise and fucking celebration and our take on the whole thing, but it's just this thing that hangs on with it. And I'm wondering what the hell, man. So please jump in on that. Like,
Well,
what do you feel
there's a
about
lot
that?
to say about that.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, there's a great division. At first, it was indeed, on the surface, you see mostly the locals that love it, that defend it. It's a party for our kids. The kids need to enjoy it. It's for the kids, You guys, we don't do racism.
Yeah, this
over
is not
here.
Holland.
You know?
We can't be racist to ourselves, you know, like that type of thing.
They don't know, a lot of people, or most of the people, first of all, they don't know where the character originated, the actual history behind it. But on top of that, a lot of people don't know the history of blackface. That's where the problem lies. If you don't know exactly what blackface is, the principle behind it, the thought it was built on, the purpose it was built with, then you won't recognize it in Zwarte Piet either. And then you'll say, no, that's not the same thing.
But wait, before you continue this argument, but is it a problem if we did not grow up with blackface, minstrel shows, whatever? That's not our culture. That's not. So should it then be a problem for us that there is this figure with the same characteristics?
It is a problem.
Why is that?
Because each year, and this is what I've been told from teachers in schools here on the island, especially when we started with the protest, each year there are kids here on the island, and the darkest kids, who sit and cry in class because other kids are teasing them, calling them Zwarte Piet. And it's only the darkest kids that experience that. Light-skinned kids don't experience that.
Right.
And you know, people say, but kids will find anything to tease with. That's true, but it should not be part of the party that we say is for the kids to enjoy.
Like that stigma for as long as I could remember. Yeah, Dre, go back to Africa. Like your own people would tell you to go back to Africa, or that you're a black African, a black Haitian, a black this, a black that. Like
Even like a couple of days ago, this is a guy, Burn Your Boy, whatever. Burn a Boy. It's coming to
How old are you?
I don't know. I stopped listening to music in 2002, people. Please don't hang me.
except the soca.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's another foul. That's life, that's not music. But he's coming to Curacao, and I saw already, like, last week, a post on internet, a picture of him. If he didn't have a Curacao, one of the Curacao sites, if he didn't have millions, people would not pay him attention today, and they would ask what kind of Haitian, something like that. Haitian is that. My mind was blown. I was like, you just don't understand. Yeah, the mental slavery that has you captive.
And that's where I'm getting at with those Zwarte Piet thing. A few years back, we actually made a short documentary about it as well, Colonialismo Mental.
Really?
Yeah.
Directed specifically about the part of Zwarte Piet. I'll send it to you.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. I will put it in. I'll put it into the description.
Yeah. And so in that we talk about the subject, and the whole thing about defending and loving it is a part of mental slavery.
Right.
Like we say it's our culture, but it's a party that was celebrated by the Dutch slave owners at a time when our people were still enslaved.
Right.
We weren't allowed to have our own culture. So
right.
you know.
No, hey, you.
But I must say one thing also, very important, that we see a lot of people defending it, but there are also a whole lot of people that do not like the character.
Right.
And that were praising us, and even elderly people coming up to me, and you know, I'm recognizable with my hair. So
Yes, you
back
are.
Back then it was still smaller. It was about half of what I have right now. But I had random people, like elderly people, coming up to me in the streets, like, hey, what you guys are doing, great. Finally, there's a loud voice against it. I've never liked that character, and for a number of reasons. You know, it can be from racism to the inequality. You know, the growing up poor. You behave all year, you be nice all year,
And you still can't get
and
shit.
you get a pack of cards, and the guy that gets punishment each week, he had a new bike and a PlayStation or Nintendo, you know. But you know, that inequality, that also works with a kid. Because like,
of course.
I've been nice all year, and Santa Claus just brought me just this stupid ass gift.
Yeah, that's a whole other discussion as parents. Trust,
There's a lot about just that subject as you get here. So.
No.